I'm going to switch gears because today is tax day. Yes, Judge Andrew Napolitano is here, and yes, he says taxation is theft, and I say that's nonsense. But I'll allow you to make your case first.
Well, actually, this is a case made by your countryman, John Locke, L-O-C-K-E, who argued that taxation is theft because it's a taking without consent. And Thomas Jefferson said the only moral commercial transactions are those as to which there is consent. So you're seated at home one night, the knock on the door, somebody shows up with a gun and says, "Give me your money. I want to give it away in your name." You call the police and you find out he is the police. Come to take your tax dollars and give it away in your name.
Come on, Judge, come on. The taxation has been run by the Supreme Court about 100 years ago, and it passed.
Well, yeah, because it's in the Constitution. It's not moral, but it is in the Constitution. So, the right of the government to take your income without your consent. I mean, suppose...
Well, would you rather have duties on imports, as they used to do in the old-fashioned days?
I would prefer fee-for-service, because then I could consent to what I want. So I steal $20 from you and I give you a book. And I say, take the book, keep the book. It's worth more than the $20. And you go, but I want the $20. I don't want the book. It's what the government does. Give us your money and we'll give you a service whether you want it or not. Now, let me tell you the flip side of this.
Oh, please.
Not all theft is immoral. So if you're starving to death and I own a loaf of bread, you have the right to take that bread and consume it, because your right to live is a higher right than my right to possess the bread. This is Jean Valjean.
So, if we're talking morality, I see your point. Everything else is pure nonsense. Let me move on.
Do they teach morality at the London School of Economics?
Absolutely not.
That we can agree.
Now, I want you to just listen to what Steve Ballmer, Microsoft guy, told Neil Cavuto about estate taxes. Roll that tape, please.
And I'm going to pay estate taxes. When I die, there'll be a big estate tax bill paid. All I'm saying is, for somebody who's been so lucky and so fortunate as I have, I'm willing to do more. Now, I'm not saying that's what society should decide. Democracy should figure it out.
Go at it, Judge.
If he wants to give his money away, let him give it away. Why should he impose the burden on the rest of us?
Right.
You know, if he's so anxious to fill the government's coffers, let him fill them with his own money.
But behind the scenes, of course,
is
people with that kind of wealth, wealthy people in general, do not pay estate taxes.
Yes.
They have estate tax planning, for heaven's sake.
Something of which I strongly approve, because estate tax is just another tax on something they've already paid taxes on.
And yet, the estate tax always seems to stay with us. It never gets quite swept away.
The only time it goes away is in certain states that want to draw wealthy people there to die there. Forgive me for putting it that way.
Florida.
Like Florida, for example.
Right.
Forget about our home state.
Oh, New Jersey?
Forget about New Jersey. You die in New Jersey, your heirs are paupers.
Well, what do you make of this argument? I've heard this from the left, that estate taxes, by taxing people on point of death, stops the accumulation of wealth over generations and the creation of a financial aristocracy. It stops that. Europe's got it. America doesn't. Keep the estate tax.
Yeah, but it prevents you from disposing of your property as you wish.
Precisely.
Because the left doesn't believe in consent. They just believe in authority.
Yes.
People on the right sometimes have that view as well.
But you can guard against estate taxes.
Yes, you can. But
somebody with $1 billion can actually make sure you don't pay a dime.
Steve Ballmer has to have the best estate tax planners in the land, because his estate is potentially humongous in size.
So does Nancy
He almost
Pelosi.
Sounds like he told Neil.
So does John Kerry.
I hear that from Lizzie.
So does Bernie Sanders. So does Nancy Pelosi.
As always, Emac is right.
Yeah.
Mrs. Sanders is a wealthy woman. Mrs. Pelosi is an exceptionally wealthy woman. But they are dwarfed by Steve Ballmer, who must be preparing for the day when his heirs will assume his wealth.
And I will bet with every penny I've got.
That's a lot of pennies.
No. That Nancy Pelosi will have an estate tax, an estate plan that avoids taxation.
Of course.
I would think that is.
Well, she can afford
And of course, the great progressive Supreme Court Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes once said, "No one should pay a nickel more than they owe." meaning you should do all you can lawfully to avoid, not evade, but avoid taxes.
That's what Silvio Berlusconi would tell his folks in Italy every time he got the opportunity. It's your duty to try.
Where was Dodgy
beat the system.
Dave on taxes?
The audience doesn't know who Dodgy Dave is. We'll move on. Yeah, thank you. We'll see you at 11.
I hear them screaming. Yes.
Promise? All right.